What's up, guys? Back with another video. Today we're talking about Tempus Ai. So Tempus Ai is my newest high conviction stock. And usually I don't like getting into things that I don't have some level of connection to the product. But I'm making I'm not doing that for this stock because I just think I build conviction in a lot of other ways other than, being able to touch the product. So what is Tempus Ai? Tempus Ai is basically, currently their largest business is genome sequencing, but I've watched tons of interviews with the CEO, and ironically, that wasn't the business they wanted to get into to begin with. They really wanted to get into data aggregation, data synthesis, in order to basically improve some of the issues that exist in precision medicine. The CEO, Eric Lukowski, I think is how you say his name, he said in many interviews that the reason he started his business is because his wife developed breast cancer about 10 years ago, right around when he started the business. And he was shocked with how poor precision medicine was, how they sequenced his wife, and yet they weren't really able to make sense of the data very well. And that's because there's all these silos in healthcare where the data isn't shared, it isn't gathered in one place, it's all separated. And he basically, the reason he set out to fix that is so that he could help his wife, and he was successful in doing so. And all we have to do is look at the results of this business, and we can see that it's outperformed all of its peers, most of which have been in the business significantly longer, like at least twice as longer. This business is only about 10 years old, and it's competing with businesses that have been in this field for 20 years, and it's outperforming them, and it expects to reach profitability in 2025. Now, a big part of this video is going to be how I think this is the next Palantir. And I miss Palantir. Part of that is because by the time, I heard about it, it already had a pretty high valuation. Actually, I caught some of the run. I basically doubled my money from around like $25 to $60. Then I got out around $60. And to be honest, I don't blame myself for getting out then. But part of the reason why Palantir is valued so highly is because of the business model it has. And Tempus Ai has a very similar business model. It's basically a data aggregation business. It's synthesizing all of this massive amounts of data and allowing the customer to make better decisions based on the data. Now, there are, of course, key differences. One is the niche that Tempus Ai is focused on, but this niche, if we can call it that, is massive. It's worth trillions of dollars. And so that's one of the reasons why I love this company. The TAM, total addressable market, is massive, and currently they're only valued at around $8.5 billion. Obviously, one of the reasons why we all know about it is also that Nancy Pelosi invested in it. And that's never a bad signal. So, what is it about this business model that makes it have such a high valuation once it gets up and running? It's basically that it creates this massive flywheel. When your business fundamentally gets better, the more data it has, the more experience it has. Once you become the front runner, the obvious front runner, especially if you're a profitable front runner who can invest its profits into making even more gains against the competition, then it just creates this massive flywheel where customers love you because you have the most expertise, you have the most data, you have the most experience, so they work with you. Then you have more data, then you have an even bigger advantage, so you get more customers, which gives you more data. So it creates this massive flywheel, which is what I think is part of what's happening with Palantir now, and why they're just so unrivaled in what they do. If you really want to understand a little bit more, I'm not a computer programmer. I'm not huge on, I'm not an expert in that field, but I've been learning about it. about, you know, Palantir and Tempus AI's business. So if you really want to kind of understand the type of platforms that they're creating, look up the word ontology and how it relates to computer science. Ontology. That kind of will help describe and help you wrap your head around what these businesses do, which is basically, you know, ontology means to basically make sense of a massive amount of data, create frameworks and models on how to interpret data. And that's basically what the systems that they're creating do for their customers. It allows their customers to make better decisions that will make them more profit, allow them to create more value for their customers. And like I said, these type of businesses, once they get up and running and become leaders in their fields, are just massive flywheels, which is why, like I said, I think Palantir commands such a high valuation. Not saying that it deserves quite as high of a valuation as it has. I think we're in the midst of this AI boom, and you know, it's basically one of the poster childs of this AI boom. So, you know, and to me, it is a little bit wacky, but again, maybe it does deserve it. We're basically in new times with this AI revolution, so only time will tell. But anyways, those are my initial thoughts on Tempus AI. I've only been researching this stock for this past week or so, but I've already built out a position. I plan on continuing to research it. Again, they're saying they should be profitable for the first time in 2025. To me, this could be a huge point for them, just as it was for Palantir. That kind of marked the beginning of the huge boom for Palantir and the valuation expansion for them. Could be the same thing for Tempus AI. So we'll see. Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. See you guys next video.